Stop it! Stop it! Seriously, holy sh**.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
No Roman Reigns, no problem. Edge and Jimmy Uso more than carried the main event scene on SmackDown last night with the best use of a Titantron I have ever seen in my life and a tremendous beatdown to close the show. Edge is an absolute psychopath. A little bit delusional, but an absolute psychopath, and I love it. But it was the supporting cast that really helped carry the show Friday night. So, let's set our sights there, shall we? I'm Rick Ucchino. First things first, make sure click the button, subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel for more content like this, plus exclusive interviews. I got a big one coming up next week, and so much more. That said, and with no further ado, let's hop into the good, the bad, and the ugly of this week's Friday Night SmackDown. We start, as always, with the good. Zelina Vega is back. Vega making her surprise return when Sonya Deville announced her as an entrant into the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The second competitor from SmackDown to be just given an opportunity. And while it's great to see Zelina back, God knows the women's division on SmackDown needs some depth to it, especially someone as talented as she is. Make no mistake about it, this was all centered around the build of Liv Morgan. Morgan clearly and justifiably pissed that another woman was put in the Money in the Bank match over her and gave Zelina the old welcome back. What did the five fingers say to the face? Smack! And then beat her in Vega's first match back on SmackDown. Another win for Morgan as she tries to earn her way into the Money in the Bank match. And here's the thing, I don't think it's gonna happen. And I know people think that doesn't make sense, but that's the story, guys. They want you to be pissed off for her. Imagine, if you will, next week, same thing. Sonya adds someone else in. Liv gets ticked off. Rinse and repeat. She beats them. Then, in front of the first live audience, Sonya Deville announces the final competitor for the match, and it's herself. Sonya puts herself in the match. She could even do it right in front of Liv in the center of the ring, and then Morgan snaps, beats the holy hell out of Deville as the live crowd just goes nuts. And then you know what you have done? You have successfully built another big baby face that the fans are ready to ride all the way to the moon, as Cameron Grimes would say. Morgan could then screw Deville out of winning the Money in the Bank briefcase 2 nights later, and they could feud for the next several weeks, if not months. These two women are insanely good at what they do. They're peacocks, damn it! You just gotta let them fly! And I hope WWE does. By the way, I'm not an idiot. I know peacocks don't fly. That was another guy's reference. Please go watch the movie. It is official, as Adam Pearce would say. Bayley and Bianca Belair have been booked into an I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Money in the Bank. And I know people want these two to move on to other things. I think we all do. But the facts are, WWE simply cut the SmackDown roster too deep to do anything else right now. I do believe reinforcements are on their way from NXT, but right now, this was simply the best call to make. I do give WWE credit for trying to make it make sense. This week, the promo exchange much better than we saw 2 weeks ago. I loved Bianca breaking away from that confidence facade that she has built for herself and admitting that Bayley has gotten into her head. And hey, if there is one match that could be a step up from Hell in a Cell, a typical feud ender, it's an I Quit match. And I guarantee this one is going to slap. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, guys, gentlemen, just take a damn bow. We witnessed one of the best last man standing matches you will ever see, and we got it on free TV. Owens and Zayn, they are a rare pairing where they can wrestle each other every day of the week, and I'll never get sick of it. Ever. We've gotten a lot of the same dudes working with each other over the past few months, but KO and Zayn are masters at making each one of their matches feel new and fresh every time out. Fantastic storytelling in this one as well, several stiff spots. I hurt this morning just after watching this match, so God knows how they feel today. I will say, I think the wrong man went over. I would have preferred to see Sami get the shot at the Money in the Bank briefcase, but the way it went down, man, powerbomb through the announcer's desk, powerbomb through the table, powerbomb onto the ring apron, a nice callback to NXT. If you're gonna lose, that's the way to lose. Moving on now to the bad. First things first, I have to give credit where credit is due. Baron Corbin is all in on this depressed, down on his luck version of his former self, and he's playing the part very well. Just when I think he couldn't lose more than what he's been losing over the past 2 years, WWE proves me wrong. First, it was his crown. Then it was hundreds of thousands of dollars in bad investments. Now Rick Boogs is having his Jeep repossessed in the middle of a match just to be an asshole. And Boogs definitely came off like a total last night, which is what I don't get. Boogs is the babyface here, so why is he taking unnecessary cheap shots at Corbin later on in the night? And I mean bad cheap shots. Those were not good jokes. Are we really trying to do this? Are we really trying to do this, WWE? Are we trying to take the most hated man in the entire company and build up babyface sympathy for him? I don't think that's gonna work. I look at Corbin telling Boogs off last night saying it's not funny to kick a man while he's down. That's been your entire thing for 5 years, is to kick people while they're down. You're the biggest in the entire company. This is not going to make me feel bad for you. If anything, it's making me say, good, karma's a bitch. F you, Baron Corbin. And of course, I'm talking about the character, not the human being. There are two separate things. Make sure to separate them out. Baron Corbin, the man, is actually really, really nice and one of my favorite interviews of all time. That said, I don't think there's anything WWE can do to get the audience to cheer Baron Corbin, the character. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out in just a couple of weeks. You know what they could do? They could always try and find somebody else that the fans hate more and pair them together. That could help. What's Jackson Riker up to now?
Hiya!
And finally, the ugly this week is actually something that's taking place next week. WWE announcing the final 2 men's Money in the Bank qualifying matches. Baron Corbin versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Again. Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. Again. Ah! Stop it! Stop it! Seriously, holy I swear to God, if Big E and Apollo are in a match next week with each other again, I'm throwing this damn computer monitor through my wall. How hard? Seriously, how hard would it have been to do something new? Even if it was something as simple as flip-flopping opponents, Corbin and Cesaro and Rollins and Nakamura instead. Or here's an idea, give Otis a shot to go back-to-back in the Money in the Bank. Give Jimmy Uso another chance to prove himself to Roman. Nope. It's like there's some kind of internal memo to creative to do very little new until they hit the road. They're saving it for the live audience, right? That's the backstage rumor line. Well, if that's the case, thank God that next week is the last Thunderdome era SmackDown. That's our video this time around. Make sure to give us the old thumbs up there. Make sure to subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel for more content like this, plus exclusive interviews. Again, I got a big one coming out next week with Tommaso Ciampa ahead of Great American Bash. You don't want to miss out on it. Subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel.